All the story would begin at the end of the battle of Goku against Frieza. Because an elite ship of forces of Frieza, Goku would reach Yadrat, and there the inhabitants came to his aid, realizing all the wounds on his body. By the same planet, a beautiful angel haunting Universe 7 realized that he had arrived. But what happened to the warrior? By his physique, I could tell that he's a warrior in his totality, but he took a beating. The fallen angel named Nin would use her ability of her eye, which would be seen by all the strengths and weaknesses of Goku. She'd be surprised to realize that in her veins ran pure energy, which would attract the attention of Nin. All the 16 universes turned their back on me, but even if my home universe had been destroyed by Zeno-sama, I'm not interested, though I've seen as a scum of 12 universes currently. I want revenge, and this Saiyan will help me with my mission. Nin with great speed would hold Goku, and moving to another planet, and when they arrived, Nin with power would heal Goku's wounds, and would inject a little of her blood into the energy of Goku's internal system. Multiple rays were scattered around him, and the power that Nin gave him was more than the body of Saiyan had ever had in existence, receiving the training of a divine being. Well, I didn't expect this. Apparently the talent of this Saiyan is all his energy veins. Apparently he hasn't been able to withstand even 2% of my power, but this will only make it more interesting. Goku would wake up eventually, finding himself confused since he wasn't able to realize where he was. Where am I? I thought I managed to place the coordinates of Earth. Due to the serious injuries my body had, I wasn't able to place them right. Goku would get in a battle pose, hearing steps behind him, and when he turned, he was petrified to realize the aura that would rise. Goku would receive a little of Nin's power as well as blood, and he managed to see the limit of Nin's power and would tremble. I don't know who you are. Your aura is terrifying, capable of cutting off my breath. I won't let you end my life easily. I'm a Saiyan warrior. Goku would put himself in a battle pose. Nin would give a smile and try to decrease the aura, which would be difficult to have aura on the defensive. After a few moments, he would decrease it a little. I'm sorry if my aura terrified you. That wasn't my intention. I healed your wounds and I want you to be my partner. Goku, noticing the threatening aura of Nin had decreased a little, would relax, while approaching the same way to Nin. Thank you for healing my wounds since the battle of the evil Emperor Frieza was able to leave me on the verge of death. Tell me, how can I help you? And in what way do you want me to be your partner? Although you haven't awakened your power beyond a god, much less that of a guardian angel, I've been able to share a little of my power and blood with you, and that you will be a fallen angel like me. You being of a warrior race, your power will increase amazingly. You'll get the divine transformations. Everything you tell me is great. I just don't know how I can help you. If I want to fight with you, I'm sure that my power is 10 times greater than mine. Frieza used to call himself the Emperor of Evil, who wouldn't be a match for you. Believe it or not, there are warriors more powerful than me, and looking at my head, without your help I won't be able to defend myself. I don't have companions. I can't let them end your life. I don't have the power like yours. I'll do everything I can though to protect you, even if it costs my life. Nin would blush. Before being able to say anything, a nebula of dark energy would cover the planet, and surprisingly the gravity would fall on everyone. Nin would change her gaze to a much more serious one, and was not affected by gravity, unlike Goku who would fall into the ground and not able to move. Well, if you were on this planet, I'm surprised a powerful woman of the 18 universes here would have no divine energy. You've fallen low, Nin. Yaibo, I never thought you'd be able to betray me. I thought everything you knew, you'd pay for me, you worm. Seriously, that's not personal, Nin. But the reward for your head's juicy, so I couldn't help but find you, and having trained myself, I'll be able to find you even though you hide your energy completely. It's something you taught me. It'll cost your life now. Sorry, but and the life of you has come. Don't even think you'll be able to end my life. I'll show you how I'll be atop of you, you traitor. I'll even give you the life of the 18 universes, and your damn people turned your back on me. I don't want to hear your words. You better shut up. Yaibo, with incredible speed, would hit Nin, being able to make her fall on the ground. The whole planet was sealed, and with the intention that Nin would not be able to escape. Ha! I thought you were more powerful. You're not the same as before. I can't believe it would be defeated in one move. This can't be happening. I gave my life for the 18 universes. I never asked for my blood to be corrupted by the energy of a demon god. But the ones who are really confused are you. Since the blood doesn't define a person, you're cursed. I don't care. Since your pure blood was corrupted by the demon god, you can't be considered an angel. For that reason, the Divine Kingdom has ordered that we completely end your existence. Even though I managed to escape Universe 15, it's enough of survival. This is my end. Neen would lower her head, not having enough energy to fight, and the physical power of his opponent was 10 times greater. That's what I like. No more problems. Give me your head. I'll be able to get the reward of Daishinken, and my power will grow. Yaibo, carrying a large sphere of energy, was sent flying with incredible brutality. Yaibo was flying due to the power of that blow, and the speed that hit him would be beastly. Yaibo was trying to do something and couldn't cover himself or raise his power and was caught off guard with a kick that was sent to the bottom of the planet. Before he could recover, a gigantic sphere of negative energy approached Yaibo, which was trying to escape. A much more powerful barrier would not allow him to. Yaibo, using all his power as well as armor of the Celestial Kingdom, would be able to withstand such an attack. The smoke of the explosion did not allow to see the attacker who had been, and in the same way, on the top of the planet, Red Eyes could see the whole planet beginning to freeze. The expansion of dominance was that of a warrior, where Neen was on the verge of death, not understanding what happened. Neen, you're a liar. I thought you were completely alone on this planet. A warrior more powerful than us together. I didn't think you could end my life so easily. Neen didn't know this, and didn't even cross her mind that it was Goku, since this power is far from the divine level, much less one to face the four Celestials, which were on the scale of power even more higher than a guardian angel. But both were surprised to see a small explosion would form, because Goku fallen sharply to the ground, finding himself in front of Yaibo. Goku, without saying a word, would dodge each and every one of the blows of his enemy. Neen would notice that his appearance had completely changed, and this time his eyes were a bright green color and fur over his body. Is that Goku? What happened? I'm sure that even though I've granted him a small part of divine energy, he can't increase his powers to that extreme. Even if he has, his divine vein or higher energy is incredible. Goku, as if a beast, would pounce against Yaibo, and on this occasion would try everything against him. He wasn't able to do anything, and on this occasion, blows to Yaibo, granted by Goku, would make him stronger, and that Yaibo would receive overwhelming power. Goku was a beast, and Yaibo, by his head, dragged him by a barrier that was formed. And because of this, his skull would break, and Yaibo, in his last act of desperation, would use the forbidden power of the demon gods, leaving Neen surprised. You're an imposter! Because unlike me, you sought the power of the demon gods to become more powerful. Apparently, that's not something you could use against Goku. So this wretch is Goku. I didn't think he'd have demonic power. I'm not interested, since the higher-ups don't sense my demonic energy being sealed with a seal space. Yaibo, with incredible brutality, would lash out on Goku. Even though Yaibo was able to mutilate both his arms, Goku's gaze would continue. Apparently you got yourself a powerful guy. It doesn't matter. He's not able to do anything. Demonic power is the power beyond the beings of divine energy. I agree, it's a pity. Goku has demonic power and his power grows, and he'll be able to devour all your demonic power, leaving nothing of you. Yaibo would feel a chill in his body, and Goku would connect him with a big kick while his arms would regenerate. I'm surprised that Goku could use this, since many days it's been since I gave him a little of my power that would take him to the limit. I'm sure that'll be the help of Goku, since he can have revenge on that he's longed for. Goku, as a beast, he was in that state, was able to dismember Yaibo. Legs would fall all over the battlefield, and in the same way, he continued to beat him brutally. After a few seconds, Goku would stare at him. Yaibo, despite using the demonic power, wasn't able to do anything against that monster, and was terrified when he heard the following. This isn't even a battle, but it's made me hungry. I want all the demonic power inside you. I'll feed on your soul. Yaibo, with his last strength, would try to escape, but couldn't. All over the place, an aura would materialize, absorbing the power of Yaibo as well as his own vital energy, and a large pool of blood could be seen as that of Yaibo's. Goku, is that you? Are you okay? I appreciate it, but what happened? Neen, without receiving an answer, was attacked due to the power she had absorbed. Her speed was slower, and Neen would dodge a blow with difficulty. She'd realize a mountain on her back would disintegrate, and Neen would get in a battle pose, noticing Goku's appearance was normal, as his power decreased. That's right, Goku would fall out of combat. What the hell? How was he able to get that power? I'm not able to assimilate it. We must trade it, because if Goku gets more powerful and gets out of control, he could end my life. On Beerus' planet, Whis would walk all over the planet of the God of Destruction, feeling the vital energy of one of the four Celestials disappeared. Well, I didn't expect this. This required the power to finish one of the 4 Celestials. Apparently, the first row of us Archangels have to look out in case the 4 Celestials are eliminated. One of the 3 most powerful powers in the 12 universes. Above the Celestials were the Trident Archangels, beings of a level of Supreme Priest. On the planet of Beerus, where Whis was walking over the planet with Beerus, a slightly serious look was the one of death of the Celestials. It was incredible because not even a god of destruction had the power to defeat a Celestial. This is the highest level of alert. I've been thinking about this since yesterday and today, and I'm not able to understand how a mortal or a god could defeat a Celestial. I'll report it to Mr. Beerus. Whis would head towards the god of destruction, waking him up. Beerus would wake up in a terrible temper, and Beerus would expel a great power, upset having been awakened by his angel. What's the matter? What's the reason you woke me up? I hope it's something important. I swear I'll destroy this whole solar system. Mr. Beerus, one of the Celestials, died, and precisely his last trace of life has been on our universe, on a planet far away. Beerus' expression would change, with horror in his entire body, because the Celestials were supposed to be warriors of great power, which even among the 12 gods of destruction couldn't do anything, and these beings were blessed with the power of a universe. Their power came from the solar system, the planets, and they were able to use 100% of their power. And because of that, it was impossible for a god to defeat them. The only ones who had the power to were Daishaken and a trio of angels, but no angel was able to do anything against those beings. Hey, are you sure? It's impossible because the universe that hasn't been you has been managed to end the life of a Celestial. For that very reason, I woke you up, Mr. Beerus. As it's too strange, my lord. We have to find out what happened on the planet to make you stop this energy of the Celestial. Of course. We have to report it to Daishaken. Whis with Beerus would head towards the planet, where a battle was taking place. A fallen angel, Nin, noticed the 2 divine energies were heading towards them. No! A terrible moment! These guys are coming! I'm sure it must be because of the death of Yibo. But even he was inside the carrier of demonic energy and hasn't expelled any of the angelic realm. Nin would hold Goku while being left to another dimension, and for that fact, Nin was known as the goddess of space and time. I doubt they can cross dimensions. I don't want any danger, and for that reason I'll create hundreds of alternate dimensions. Nin, using a large part of her power, would create alternate dimensions, making it impossible for the energy of the divine beings who were behind them. While their dimensional shift, Nin would arrive at the inhospitable planet, was on the outskirts of the 12 universes, and was thoughtful. This warrior Goku, I know his family well. Even though he longs to return to Earth, I have turned him into a fallen angel as I am, and the great power has been able to wake up. I need him to survive. I can't let him leave as if nothing. I have to erase each of his memories so that between us, we can end everything created. Nin would move towards Goku, but when he was a few steps away, Nin would fall on her knees with blood vomiting out, and then the vision would become blurry. Apparently excess energy started on its toll on me. I erased all the memories Goku has. I'll have to rest. Because of my mental power, if I require more power, I've sent it to multiple dimensions. Nin would begin to meditate, and the intention of increasing her power was trying to stabilize it. On Universe 7, Beerus and Whis arrived, which the battle was taking place, and realized everything was destroyed. There's no doubt this planet, it was the death of the Celestial Yibo, since I feel no essence, and they've been able to seal this space. It surprises me. It's the barrier that's been placed by Yibo. What are you saying? Are you giving me something to say that the Celestial sealed the planet, intending to save his life? Or what do you want to tell me? Well, that is possible, but the most likely thing that happened was he was trying to seal the planet so a warrior he was fighting had nowhere to go, and it was a double-edged sword since his enemy turned out to be more powerful, ending his life. That's what I deduce, but we have to look for clues. Beerus and Whis began to navigate and investigate everything around him, but they couldn't find anything. They both were looking for clues, and a portal would form where the great priest Daishaken would come, and Beerus would bow, making the most embellic beings of all the 12 universes. So apparently you have the power of one life of the Celestials to come to an end.
Strange. I want to inform you, since in the existence something has never happened.
Okay, Father, the only thing we need to find is that barrier that Celestial Yibo himself placed. But you don't know who he was fighting.
It's strange. It'd be better for the Celestials, the Trident of Archangels, to be ready.
Of course, Father, I will communicate to the 2 other Archangels in case it gets more complicated. I want to eliminate him. I am sure that the tip of this iceberg, and the plan is more than this.
I agree. I'll come to this planet. Otherwise, everything will be terrible. I want all of the gods to be attentive. In a few moments, I will give a statement.
Daishenka would go to the kingdom of Zeno-sama. His gaze reflected a great concern for everything that happened. Whis and Beerus would return to their planet, and on the planet of Nin, a few days passed, where Nin would recover all of her power, and Goku didn't wake up due to the extra power his body endured. It amazes me the physical strength of that warrior. I'm sure that any other mortal would have exploded, and a god wouldn't be able to withstand the power Goku would release. I must do it now. Nin executing her mental power would erase all the memories of Goku's life, and replacing several of those memories with herself. Since all her memories she was creating, Nin was next to Goku. But while Nin was executing her technique, power would emanate from his body, and mental capacity evolved. Damn, the mental power Goku has to get the power of the fallen angel rejects me. I must be able to change his memories. I'm sure if I don't, Goku won't help. Nin would expel her power, sending neurons to Goku's body. His internal system would stop working, and Nin would take advantage of managing to eliminate his memories entirely. It's tiring. I can't believe the power Goku has. He has such great mental power, but I'm sure that his power can reach a state beyond this. I must make the most of it. On Earth, Goku's friends tried to communicate with Goku, but it was impossible, and Frieza and his father arrived on the Earth. Not a mysterious subject of the entire Earth had been reduced to atoms of the universe. This is too strange. In my timeline, Goku took about 3 hours to get here. I'm sure something got in his way, but I have to return. I must warn Piccolo. Trunks would inform everything that happened to the androids. In the span of 3 years, at the time of ending all the information, he would leave on his own.
I gotta report everything that happened. I doubt that guy's telling lies. What happened, Goku? It's not common for you to do this.
Daishenkin was walking over the palace. Zeno-sama would see Daishenkin's gaze and requesting his presence, and Daishenkin would appear in front of Zeno-sama, bowing.
What happened, Zeno-sama? What's the reason for this call?
I see your expression has changed in you being a return to Universe 7. It's strange that something makes you more serious. Tell me, Daishenkin, what happened to make you so nervous? Daishenkin would explain the whole situation, and the king of all Zeno-sama and his guardians changed his expression to a serious one.
This is impossible. How is it possible they're capable of ending the life of a Celestial or the Archangels? That said, one of them fell to the Celestials. I don't know who to believe. I can't assimilate in the best way. I think we just gotta be alert, otherwise everything will go downhill.
I want you to inform all the gods that's happening. I want the slightest stand to be watched. Total control of the universes.
Of course. I'll communicate to the gods and angels.
Daishenkin, with his great mental power, would report everything to them, and on the planet where Nin was, Goku was, after about 3 weeks, would wake up. His character hadn't changed, and he was completely forgetting the existence of his family and friends. What happened, Nin? I have mental gaps. I'm just trying to figure out the end of our existence. I don't know if that really happened or if it's a dream. Goku, everything was a dream. Reality, you were able to protect me. I don't know if you could release all that power, but you left me surprised. I'm grateful. Wow, so all that happened. Don't worry, I will give my life for you. Tell me, do you know who that guy was that was attacking? I don't get it. How I've been able to overcome it. If according to what I remember you told me about the gods. Where we met, it was a fallen angel, and the damn divine kingdom wanted to end my existence. Although, at the time of my life, for them to answer the second question, I don't know how you could release all that power. Your body as a mortal should have exploded. That only makes me want to be more powerful. I can, and I'll train to form that of a fallen angel. I definitely understand, Goku, and I'm scared to death, knowing that your face would surpass the mortal of an angel. Heh, I'm saying, we warriors have the energy of a fallen angel, and I know that my power will increase. I don't know. I have hundreds of emotions, but I really appreciate it. We've got to focus on controlling your fallen angel power, or better known as the demon gods. Goku in his base state meditated, and rays were around him. And Nin would be surprised to see that Goku would close his fists with his hair of a golden color. Nin, not knowing the Saiyan race, thought it was a variant of demon power. Goku would roar, releasing his power of Super Saiyan, and although it was just an ordinary Super Saiyan, he possessed the power compared to Super Saiyan 3 full power. Wow, that's amazing! Your power's been able to be multiplied dozens of times. It's not the transformation used against Yaibo, it's another? Heh, it's Super Saiyan, Nin. I want to first master my main transformation and try to access it after you inform me I want to possess greater resistance in my body. I understand. I will also start training. I don't want to burden you. In fact, I want to help you against those wretches of the Divine Kingdom. In Zeno-sama's palace, we see Zeno thoughtful. A great pressure would fall on the palace. I can't take this lightly. I'll have to get the Legion of Angels support. Since they're warriors, there are angels who surpass my power, though it's the least I wanted. Otherwise, everything be destroyed. Zeno-sama, with his power, would form a pentagram of energy, and formed as entrance of the celestial kingdom of the highest level. The entrance would be formed, and a door of light would open. Thousands of angels would be seen, who possess different levels of power, and them with the angel of the celestial kingdom would fall in front of Zeno-sama. Well, I didn't expect this. Zeno-sama, but you're able to invoke the heavenly gate. It means you require our power. Although I don't want to admit it, you're right. An extremely powerful subject was able to end the life of a celestial, and I don't think I have the power to defeat him. An incredible power would be released over the place. Akira's power would become present. Akira, the most powerful angel, would make an appearance and would expel an amazing power, each celestial formed by a part of the archangels, and some of the power of the Legion of Angels. The death of one of the celestials would cause a fury of Akira. At first, I'd planned to refuse whatever your request, knowing that one of the celestials fallen. Of your full support, you can ask me anything you want, Zeno. Akira, I thank you. My intention was never to depend on you, and this is the first time I've bothered you after millions of years. I don't understand how a celestial was able to die at the hands of a mortal. Even Whis, who is an archangel of the trio of archangels in our universe, can't detect what happened. This is too strange. I did not think you mortals with such power in this multiverse could end the life of celestials. It surprises me the most is what Whis was not able to find him. Despite his incredible prowess on the battlefield, Whis possesses great cognitive ability. I don't know about the abilities of angels, much less archangels. In these universes, there have never been warriors with this type of power. Being in an emergency situation, I just turn to their help. I understand, Zeno. You don't have to worry. I will grant you my help. I will grant you the help of 3 archangels from my legion of the most powerful angels. I will grant you 3 sacred gods of the first existing universes. Zeno-sama would be surprised that these warriors would have come from the shadows, and the air around them would be heavier, as well as the pressure on their body. That's amazing! Even though these warriors don't release their true power, they can release incredible pressure able to overshadow me! The first ones would be put in front of Zeno-sama, the 3 sacred gods. Said gods were the first gods of creation. Creator beings are the first kings of the whole. Their appearance was similar to that of the gods of destruction. Condensed power was incomparable. Since comparing the 12 gods of destruction with a single sacred god, it'd be like a child with an adult. The difference was unreal.
So we'll have to take care of the guy who was able to end the life of one of the Celestials. That'll be interesting. It's been thousands of years since I had a hunt like this. I want to see what this is all about.
Chemist, you have to calm down. You're like the first Saiyan god. Your battle instinct runs through your veins, but don't let the same instinct be able to cloud your thinking. It'll leave you in the grave.
While both were behind, a figure was being similar to that of a lion, being able to be seen with hundreds of rays scattered all around them.
First of all, a pleasure to meet you, Zeno-sama, the new ruler of everything existing. And secondly, Camus, this is not fun. It's a mission. We have been tasked to finish the guy who defeated a Celestial.
Camus would instantly try to deny it and be able to say anything. A great pressure would fall on Camus's body. This time, the power of the incredible god Orion was present in the entire legion of angels. These are the sacred gods. Since they were the first creator gods of the authentic king of everything, it means they were the first creations of your grandfather, and that very reason they have incredible power. I understand. Thank you. He's able to grant me the power of 3 warriors. I'm sure that the power of these 3 holy gods will suffice. It's not necessary to send 3 of the archangels.
I agree, Zeno-sama, because we don't compare ourselves to the mighty archangel. Akira, we know that this power is enough to finish off a mortal who can finish off a celestial.
I trust you, but in case you see the situation gets complicated, don't hesitate for reinforcements. Since the only warriors capable of facing us are the beings with dark energy or demonic power of the highest level.
Of course, Akira-sama. Don't worry, I'll be informing you of any situation that happens in the Zeno-sama multiverse.
I wish you the best of luck. You can retire. The pentagram of Zeno-sama would end the connection with the Celestial Kingdom, appearing once again in the palace of Zeno-sama. Daishaku would feel great tension in the air around him. Heading towards where Zeno-sama was, the instant he was there, he'd be surprised by the 3 subjects that were never seen. The simple fact that being in front of them made his body tremble.
My lord, who are these guys? Since I'm able to notice how they can cut off my breath completely, I feel my whole body shaking, and I notice they have the powers at their lowest.
Nice to meet you, priest. Guardian of Zeno-sama. We introduce ourselves and we are the sacred gods. We are the first existence of creation of the ancestor of Zeno-sama, and we've been given the mission to eradicate the warrior who had the power to end the life of a celestial. Daishaken's gaze was terror, as well as incredible admiration. The power the holy gods had found in the very ancient scrolls of Zeno-sama's father was not able to meet the holy gods.
I introduce myself. I'm Daishaken, angel and guardian of Zeno-sama. I thank you for your help. We're shocked about what happened, and a mortal being able to end a celestial? We've never seen it. He was able to outwit the sensory abilities of Whis.
Heh! Don't worry, Daishaken. We the holy gods will take care of this inconvenience. You can relax.
I agree with my partner. We will find and punish the warrior who could end the life of one of ours.
You have nothing to worry. You can rest easy. On Nin's planet, Goku managed to master Super Saiyan at 100% of all his power. He'd been able to reach the variance of Super Saiyan, getting up to Super Saiyan 3, and the wear of his energy was something great, and he needed to train in that state. Goku, it amazes me how you could get that power in such a fast way. I'm sure that the beings endowed with the divine energy, you could surpass them, but it's time that you master the energy of a god. This is still enough, Nin. I want to master all my power, since a warrior who attacked us had the power to finish us. I don't know how I was able to defeat him, but I don't want to put you in danger. I'll become stronger to be able to protect you. I swear I'll give my life for you. My mental technique has worked. I must be grateful that this warrior has not been able to release my divine energy. If that was done, it'd be impossible for me to manipulate him in this way. I know that this Saiyan will destroy all those miserable ones. All this was going through Nin's mind, and being taken out of her thoughts, Goku had accessed the demonic god. That's right, Goku was able to access a state with the side effects incredible, but most of his bones were completely destroyed. I have to release more power than the other times. I gotta master the powers of an ordinary Super Saiyan, and later get the divine energy, and my body can withstand the power of the demonic Saiyan. Goku would get in his base state, returning to meditate. Nin was analyzing everything that happened, thinking of the most feasible way for Goku to get that energy of a god. On the planet of Beerus, the deities were also very thoughtful as they walked over the planet.
Hey, do you think that the Celestial was able to be defeated by a mortal? I still think it's impossible. No mortal can defeat a god, much less a Celestial. I'm sure there's a logical explanation.
I don't know, Mr. Beerus, but the planet we're on, a big battle's going on. I don't have to give you an answer, but everything is confusing. While on top of them walking on the planet, a portal would be formed where the entire planet of Beerus, the 3 holy gods, would make an appearance. I did not expect this. I've not been able to show the appearance of the sacred gods, but by their clothes, you must be the first destructive gods of all creation. Apparently the fall of the Celestials generated a great panic.
You appear to be the leader of the Trident of Angels in this universe. Akira-sama has informed us of your abilities being extraordinary. Your truly strong point in the mind. Despite your great cognitive qualities, you're not able to locate the warrior who ended the life of a celestial.
Apparently they are well informed, and they are correct. My cognitive ability is similar to that of a supreme angel. I'm not able to locate that warrior because hundreds of dimensional cracks were created on the battlefield. It became impossible for me to detect the true crack.
It's no problem. We have to destroy the others, and if they were created by an external power, there's no living beings in those dimensional cracks. The most microscopic organisms are just existing.
Although Camus's strong point has never been his cognitive ability, I agree. No matter how much power the subject has, he can't create life. They're only simulations of dimensions, or as Camus said, simply microscopic organisms.
Archangel Whis, I ask you in the most cordial way, please guide us to the planet where the great battle was. We'll take care of the rest.
Of course, yes, it's no bother. It's a pleasure to serve the Heavenly Kingdom. On Zeno-sama's palace, Daishaka would appear at Zeno-sama's side, bowing down, feeling a little less restless.
My lord, excuse my impertinence, but do you think the first gods of destruction can locate that warrior? I don't doubt that they're able to end his life. I just doubt they can find him. Since their strong point's not the mind, they just possess overwhelming power.
Don't worry, I'm sure they can do something about the situation, because for some reason Akira-sama was able to send them. We will just have to wait for this big problem to develop.
On Universe 7, all the deities would arrive towards the planet. They were able to arrive, and the trio of gods would notice the hundreds of alternate dimensions around the planet, and Orochi would smile.
This technique was worked for any other warrior. It's a pity. That's precisely the god of destruction, Orochi. The Falcon of Dimensions is his opponent.
Beerus would be surprised that he called himself one of the gods of destruction, but not able to see anything, hundreds of dimensions would collapse. One by one, they began to be destroyed, and Nin would notice the dimensions being destroyed.
What? How is this possible? None of the 12 universes have the power to destroy the dimensions with this ease. Oh, no, we have to escape.
Goku would ignore Nin.
Goku, are you listening? It's time to leave. If we stay here, we'll die. We must leave this place.
Nin would not get an answer, but on that instant would hold Goku. The dimension they were in was destroyed, and they were able to enter the deities and the planet where the goddess Nin was.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. The demon goddess Nin, you are exiled from the entire divine kingdom. Since the repulsive blood of the demon gods runs through your veins, so you were able to end the life of a celestial.
Nin would get in a battle pose, and the trio of gods would overshadow her. Goku would meditate, Camus with great speed would hold Nin by the neck, Nin kicking and punching couldn't get rid of his grip. The smile was malicious, and between the whole place the breeze of the air would resonate. An imposing voice would be heard.
I ask you in the nicest way possible. Release Nin. I don't want to repeat it one more time.
Ha! So the useless one speaks. You're a damn statue, I didn't even notice you. You better keep quiet if you don't want to die.
I warned you not to repeat it one more time.
Goku, with a quick, fierce movement, would cut off Camus's arm. Holding Nin in his arms, Goku was so fast the Destroyer Gods found it difficult to follow him. Camus was on the ground, screaming.
Damn, that hurt! You insolent! You only managed to cut off my arm because I was off guard. But don't think that a simple movement like that could beat me. I'm one of the first gods, that's not enough.
Camus expelled more power and would manage to generate his arm, pouncing on Goku. Goku, despite having Nin in his arms, dodged each of his blows.
It didn't matter, Camus's guard was down. It's not possible a mortal was able to cut off his arm with ease.
I don't know who you are. I'll show you the result of my workout, and those who could hurt my Nin will pay with blood.
Goku would send Camus flying. Nin, a safe place, with his gaze would change completely, starting to access the state of Super Saiyan Demon God. In the dark skies of Thraxis Nocturne, the stage was transformed into a cosmic battlefield, where divine light and malevolent darkness collided in an epic confrontation. Owamo and Ewin, the guardians of this planet, displayed their celestial power with a grace and precision that defied description. The glow of the purifying light emanating from Ewin and Owamo spread across the space, illuminating the shadows that the shadow creature was trying to grasp. Ewin and Owamo's every move was a ballet of divine energy, as they gracefully dodged the dark attacks encountered with unstoppable force. Awamo's wings shone with a resplendent light, like stars in the night, as he invoked the very essence of creation to repel the dark forces rising up against him. By his side, Iwin radiated an imposing presence, with his penetrating gaze fixed on the creature as it defying the darkness itself. The shadow creature, on the other hand, was fighting with an impressive ferocity, trying to resist the overwhelming power of Iwin and Awamo. Their dark attacks were launched like ravenous shadows, seeking to consume the divine light that surrounded them. However, every attack was countered by the impenetrable force of Iwin and Awamo, who remained firm in their purpose to protect the planet. The clash between light and darkness created a symphony of cosmic energy, with flashes of light and bursts of energy illuminating the firmament. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Your power is formidable, but it cannot resist the purity of creation.
You can't stop me. I'm the very embodiment of darkness.
Darkness can be powerful, but the real strength lies in balance, and we represent that balance. Iwin and Awamo continued to deploy their energy with amazing precision, creating light barriers that repelled the attacks of the shadow creature. Every movement of Iwin and Awamo was imbued with a divine elegance and grace, while the creature struggled with a desperate ferocity. Our mission is to protect the harmony of the universe, and that includes protecting this planet from your darkness.
You can't stop me. I'm inevitable.
The shadow creature launched waves of dark energy, but Iwin and Awamo easily repelled them, maintaining an opposing presence in the midst of battle. Every blow of Iwin and Awamo resonated with the force of creation, while the creatures struggled more and more desperately. The darkness can be a challenge, but our determination's unwavering. We'll not let you destroy this planet. Your power may be formidable, but it cannot equal the eternal light of the universe. The battle continued with Iwin and Awamo and the shadow creature facing off in an epic clash between light and dark. In the midst of the struggle, Father Zeno silently watched from his kingdom, perceived the magnitude of the conflict. With an imperceptible gesture, he decided to intervene, taking Iwin and Awamo to a mental plane where they could confront the shadow creature in a terrain beyond the physical. In a flash of dazzling light, Awamo and Iwin were transported to an ethereal realm, where the laws of the universe twisted and blurred. Where are we, Iwin? We have entered the realm of the mind, a place where reality is molded according to the will of the observer. Here the real battle be fought in the deepest corners of our being. While Awamo and Iwin were transported to a mental plane by Father Zeno, the shadow creature continued its fierce assault against the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne. Turles, Bardock, Raditz, Frieza, and Cooler, the most powerful warriors on the planet, rose up against the darkness that threatened to consume their home. The shadow creature, imbued with a dark and malevolent aura, hovered over them with an overwhelming presence. He distorted his energy, enveloping everything around him, tearing reality itself apart, and threatening to plunge the planet into an abyss of chaos.
We won't let you destroy our home, shadow monster. We, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne, are not afraid of the dark.
We have faced much greater dangers than you, creature.
We will fight together to protect our world.
The shadow creature launched a powerful dark attack towards the warriors, but they responded with relentless ferocity. Turles, his eyes shining with determination, unleashed a shower of destructive energy, summoning the very essence of nature to channel it in a torrent of energetic attacks. Their powerful attacks cut through the darkness with devastating precision, creating dazzling explosions that lit up the planet's night sky. Bardock, with his fiery ki and indomitable spirit, channeled his energy into a powerful attack. His fists were burning with a searing intensity as he launched a concentrated burst of energy towards the shadow creature, challenging its strength with its own. Bardock's attack resonated with the determination of an invincible warrior, willing to give everything for the protection of his world. Raditz and Cooler, united in battle, joined in a coordinated assault on the shadow creature. With fluid and coordinated movements, they launched bursts of energy from different angles, creating a barrier of attacks that surrounded their enemy. The shadow creature struggled to defend itself against the combined onslaught of the two powerful warriors, but its resistance was challenged by the determination and skill of Raditz and Cooler. Meanwhile, Frieza, with his golden form glowing with a golden aura, was preparing to unleash his full power against the shadow creature. His eyes shone with a cold and calculated determination as he focused his energy on a devastating attack. With a graceful and precise movement, Frieza unleashed a burst of golden energy that swirled with unparalleled destructive power, threatening to envelop the shadow creature in a mantle of fire and destruction. The battle escalated as the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne bravely faced the darkness that threatened their world. Every blow, every burst of energy echoed through space, creating a spectacle of destruction and determination. Meanwhile, on the mental plane, Awamo and Ewin were engaged in a metaphysical struggle against Father Zeno, an omnipotent entity whose presence radiated an aura of indescribable power. Ewin and Awamo, aware of the gravity of the situation, desperately sought the intervention of Father Zeno to counter the threat of the shadow creature. However, to their surprise, Father Zeno solemnly informed them that they could not intervene directly, since the balance of the universe had to be kept intact even in times of crisis. Awamo and Ewin, although unhappy with Father Zeno's decision, understood the importance of respecting the laws of the cosmos. With determination, they plunged even deeper into the metaphysical struggle, using all their ingenuity and power to find a solution to the crisis unfolding in Thraxis Nocturne. As a confrontation on the mental plane reached its climax, Awamo and Ewin found themselves face to face with the imposing Father Zeno. His figure radiated an indisputable authority, but also an aura of mystery that aroused restlessness in the Ewin and Awamo. Awamo, with his usual serenity, broke the tense silence that filled the ethereal space. "Father Zeno," he began in a firm but respectful tone, "could it be you that... Were you the one who sent the shadow creatures to destroy the planets?" Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, nodded slowly. "I did it for the good of the universe," he replied calmly. Although his voice resonated with a power that shook Ewin and Awamo, sometimes drastic measures must be taken to preserve the cosmic balance. Ewin, with a flash of indignation in his eyes, could not contain himself anymore. "But that doesn't justify the chaos and destruction you've unleashed!" he exclaimed, his voice echoing with unshakable determination. "There are other ways to restore balance without resorting to violence and darkness." Father Zeno observed the god of destruction and his angel with a penetrating gaze, as if he were evaluating their words and their posture. "Your compassion is admirable, but sometimes it's necessary to sacrifice a few pieces to save the entire board," he said in an enigmatic tone. Awamo and Ewin exchanged determined glances. Although they respected Father Zeno's authority, they knew that they had to follow their own principles and convictions. With courage, they prepared to challenge the omnipotent being in front of them, willing to fight for what they believed was right, even if it meant facing the divinity itself. The air on the mental plane was charged with tension, as Awamo and Ewin prepared to face Father Zeno. Their divine auras collided in a show of titanic forces, as Ewin and Awamo prepared to challenge the supreme being in front of them. Awamo, with his heavenly book in hand, looked at Father Zeno with determination. "Father Zeno, although we respect your authority, we cannot allow you to continue with this destruction," he stated firmly. "We'll fight for peace and balance in the universe, even if it means standing up to you." Father Zeno, with an impenetrable calm, nodded in recognition. "Your courage is admirable, but you will not be able to stop me," he replied calmly. "The fate of the universe is in my hands, and I'll do whatever it takes to preserve its balance." Without further words, the battle began with a burst of divine energy. Awamo unleashed his celestial power, summoning rays of light that he threw against Father Zeno, while Ewin threw waves of energy with determination. However, Father Zeno showed impressive resilience, deflecting every attack with surprising ease. The fight went on for what seemed like an eternity, with Ewin and Awamo and Father Zeno trading punches and counterpunches in a cosmic dance of power and skill. Every movement was imbued with a supernatural force, while the mental plane trembled under the intensity of his conflict. However, as time passed, Awamo and Ewin began to feel the weight of their opponent. Father Zeno's power was overwhelming, and every blow Ewin and Awamo received weakened them even more. Despite their bravery and determination, it seemed that they were fighting against an impossible-to-defeat force. Awamo, panting from the effort, looked at his companion with concern. "Ewin, we can't go on like this," he admitted sincerely. "Father Zeno's too powerful for us." Iwin, though exhausted, nodded determinedly.
I know, Owamo, but we can't give up,
He replied firmly.
We must keep fighting for Thraxis Nocturne and for all beings in the universe.
With a final effort, Iwin and Owamo gathered their forces to launch a final attack against Father Zeno. However, the Supreme Being easily overcame them, deflecting his power with a contemptuous gesture. Father Zeno looked at Iwin and Owamo with a mixture of admiration and regret.
They're brave, but their struggle has come to an end,
He solemnly declared.
Accept your defeat and let fate take its course.
With a resigned sigh, Owamo and Iwin surrendered to Father Zeno's overwhelming strength. Although they had fought with all their heart and soul, they knew that they could not defeat the Supreme Being in front of them. Father Zeno, with a compassionate look, looked at them benevolently.
Rest now, my brave creations,
He said gently.
His bravery will be remembered throughout the universe.
Father Zeno, with an unflappable expression, extended his hand towards the exhausted Iwin and Owamo. In an instant, a powerful burst of cosmic energy emanated from his palm, enveloping Owamo and Iwin in a dazzling radiance. Iwin and Owamo screamed in agony as Father Zeno's energy enveloped them, feeling every fiber of their being torn apart under the relentless power of the Supreme Being. Their bodies, imbued with divine light, were slowly consumed in the maelstrom of energy, fading little by little into the ether of the cosmos. Owamo and Iwin fought with all their might to resist the cataclysm that engulfed them, but it was useless. The power of Father Zeno surpassed them in every respect, and they were soon reduced to mere shadows of their former glory. With the last gasp, Owamo and Iwin exploded, leaving body parts all over the mental space, dissipating into cosmic nothingness while their essence merged with the universe. At that precise moment, we return to the earthly plane, where the fierce battle between the most powerful warriors of Thraxis Nocturne and the shadow creature was reaching its climax. Bursts of energy and thunderous crashes echoed in the air, while Bardock, in the middle of the combat, glimpsed Owamo and Iwin, who were lying unconscious on the ground, enveloped in a halo of divine light. Surprise and dismay were reflected on the faces of the warriors, who momentarily stopped their frantic struggle upon realizing the situation. Bardock, his eyes wide open, watched in horror as Iwin and Owamo's bodies began to shake, emanating flashes of energy that increased in intensity with each passing second. A tense silence enveloped the battlefield as everyone watched the scene in disbelief. Suddenly, a heart-rending explosion echoed in the air, making the earth and sky tremble. Bardock and the other warriors were thrown back by the force of the explosion, protecting themselves as best as they could from the shockwave that was spreading around them. When the afterglow of the explosion faded, what was left was a smoking crater where Owamo and Iwin once stood. The warriors slowly stood up, stunned by what they had just witnessed, as the shadow creature, now shrouded in an even denser darkness, prepared to lash out again before the protecting warriors of Thraxis Nocturne. Bardock clenched his fist determinedly, feeling a mixture of sadness and fury burn inside him. He knew that they must continue the fight, not only for the honor of their planet, but also in memory of their brave fallen guardians. With a war cry, the warriors rushed into combat again, determined to avenge the loss of their comrades and protect their home from the darkness that threatened to consume it. After the devastating explosion that killed Owamo and Iwin, the warriors of Thraxis Nocturne gathered in a circle, still stunned by what had happened. Bardock, with a gloomy look, broke the silence with a grave tone.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.